The European Council has adopted an agreement to establish an international center for the prosecution of crimes of aggression against Ukraine in The Hague. The issue is the abduction of children from occupied territories. According to Ukrainian experts, more than 16,000 such cases have been documented so far. Russia's violation of international law is one of Brussels' arguments for justifying further sanctions.
We have introduced the possibility in the 10th package on listing either personalities or companies or entities where we see, also in third countries, that they circumvent the sanctions. So a bundle of measures taken already, but this is certainly not enough, and therefore the 11th package of sanctions will also and mainly deal with the question of circumvention and how we can get against it.
According to Bloomberg News Agency, the U.S. State Department is looking into whether some banks helped Russian oligarchs evade sanctions. Among those being checked are Credit Suisse and UBS, whose uncertain fate is raising fears of a potential financial crisis. Equally important from Kiev's perspective are regular supplies of arms and ammunition, and these in turn depend on the capabilities of Ukraine's partners. This meeting was important because it allowed us to uphold the decision to supply ammunition to Ukraine. We want to be a fully committed partner that generously provides military support for both munitions production and delivery to Ukraine. This week, the European Union approved a plan to purchase ammunition for Ukraine. Brussels will put up €2 billion for this purpose. Half of the funds will finance the replenishment of the warehouses of those countries that will suffer losses from it. Poland will soon receive about €300 million from the European Enterprise Fund. Poland will be the biggest beneficiary of this European peace instrument. This is a huge success for Poland. It's very important. This is what we have been striving for from the very beginning. And I am very happy that it has been done. In place of the older weapons we have been transferring to Ukraine, we will be able to buy very modern weapons with money from the EU, but also ammunition. We'll also be able to create new technological lines for the production of ammunition and different types of weapons. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has once again asked the European Union for more military aid. He cited long-range missiles and fighter aircraft among the main needs. He also called for accelerating Ukraine's accession to the EU. If our efforts are determined and directed toward Ukraine's victory, if there are no delays and stoppages in our cooperation, we will achieve the final victory already this year. Every hour on the battlefield matters. A delay in the delivery of long-range missiles has a direct impact on the deaths of more Ukrainians. Without the right weapons, we cannot push back the Russians from around Kherson, Zaporizhia, and other cities. Dan Rice, an American advisor to the Ukrainian armed forces, said Vladimir Putin's decisions are dragging down the Russian military. Some 25,000 Russian soldiers are dying on the front lines every month. He also announced a Ukrainian counteroffensive, the success of which will shock the world. Meanwhile, the Russians are constantly shelling civilian facilities and critical infrastructure.
88% of Ukrainians' irrigated territories is under Russia occupation. 35% of those in the government-controlled area has suffered from hostilities. Precisely, there is territory critical for global food security. Every day, Russian missiles destroy Ukraine's water infrastructure, water supply facilities.
Meanwhile, Slovakia has already delivered the first 4 of the 13 promised MiG-29 fighter jets to Ukraine, with the others expected to arrive in the coming weeks. A similar commitment has been made by Poland, which, like Slovakia, will hand over 4 fighters in the coming days.